son, in this life, you have to learn to do a bit of everything because you never know the turns that life will make. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Rolando Chamorro. I'm original from Panama City, this small country, but with an amazing and incredible attractions that are making a great destination to discover on these days. A country that has been called the bridge of the world for a long time. But even before we had the Panama Canal, we had these amazing cultures, indigenous, that they have been crossing this isthmus before the vessels that crossed the Panama Canal, as the Emberá, as the Nove Bugles, as the Bocotas, as the Wunam, as an examples. At first, I love living in Panama City because it's a city that have a diverse settings. So you can find an amazing old Spanish settlements as Panama Viejo, as the Casco Viejo, or the Old Quarter. But also in the Caribbean side, you can find San Lorenzo, a Spanish old fort that we have with amazing views of the Caribbean, an entry of the Chagres River. But also, it's a city that with all that mixture of cultures is growing every year in the gastronomy part. So every year there is more restaurants and more recognizing of a country that you can travel and you can do a lot of adventure activities, but you can also expect a really high level of gastronomy. Since I was little, I always has been restless and adventurous, with a mind that doesn't get still. So always surrounded by my family, and especially from my parents, my dad's side, my grandfather. So I remember in one of that conversations with him, he told me that phrase, son, in this life, you have to learn a bit of everything because you never know the turns that life would take. So I took this phrase really serious, and it has been modeling my life. So I went through a lot of diverse phases in my life. I studied a lot of different careers. I worked in a lot of different things. But having my parents always been depending on me and trying to make sure that I will make something good in life. So I studied a graphic design career, and I graduate. Even though I'm a bit messy and I'm a bit disorganized, but I graduated with excellent grades. But not for me, for my parents. So they love it, and they was really happy. But that was still not filling me. I still was missing my adventure part. So I needed to do something else. So I wanted to study then. I told my parents, I want to study to be an airplane pilot. Woof. So when I did this first flight, as a recognition flight, just to see if I would like the career, and I could see Panama from above. Wow. I mean, wow. That was something in me changed, because I could see the Pacific Ocean surrounded this modern city. We could see the canal that runs from north to south. I could see this really modern city, but surrounded by this amazing rainforest. So then something started wandering in me. I wanted to learn, and I wanted to explore my Panama. So I wanted to see where that river that disappeared in that rainforest, where it began. I wanted to see what it was on the bottom of the ocean, what species of fish we had there, what reef we had there. But also, in my imagination, I wanted to think what it was feeling to stand there under the massive trees that stick out over the canopy of the rainforest, as the quipo, as the guayacán, or as the espave, that is our Panama tree. So then, I decided that it was time to change my style of life. I wanted to be more in the outdoors. I wanted to be more exploring the beaches that we have in Panama. So I started spending more of my free time after work doing camping, doing surfing, doing mountain bike, exploring the Azuero Peninsula. We have beautiful places there. You can go from Venado, you can be in Cambutal, you can be in Santa Catalina, amazing destinations for surfing. During that trips, every time that I was exploring the outdoors of Panama and going to the countryside of Panama, I started learning new things. I started learning the flora and the fauna that we have in Panama. I started seeing these insects that they seems that they have been out from a science fiction movie. I started hearing the symphony of the birds singing in the mornings, or the noise of the howler monkeys when they wake up. So then, every time that I was coming back to Panama City, to my job in Copa Airline, I was feeling I was leaving something behind in every trip. So then, I was every day in my job thinking when is going to be my next free day, when is going to be my vacations, so I can go back to these outdoor parks where I was feeling happy and in harmony. Then I had the opportunity to enroll in a wilderness rescue course in Chiriquí province in a small town called Boquete. I got in love at first scene when I came to this little town. The gorgeous people, happy people, they say hi even without knowing you. They will smile when they see you walking on the streets. So for me, this was something that I was feeling more as my home. This would be my new home. I wanted to live in Boquete. So then, in 2008, I created a company that is called Meet My Panama, that it was to provide adventure activities to tour operators. So then I told my parents that I was moving out of the city. Of course, my mom completely sad why I'm leaving. My dad, he couldn't understand it. Why are you leaving? You're already studying a career. You're going to be an airplane pilot. You should have a life in Panama City. But for me, that was not really what I was looking to. So I decided moving to Boquete and start a new life. So I remember one of the phrases of my dad, that I don't know if it was for to support or for to make me convinced to stay at Panama City. But his phrase was, son, get serious and study an engineer career. All my brothers are engineers, so I was the rebel. But then, because of that phrase, I took it more to support myself. And even if things was not going good or it was hard, that helped me to continue exploring and developing. And I wanted to show him that it was possible to make a career in adventure tourism in Panama. So then I start working in a new career. So the phrase of my grandfather came back again. So I was here in Boquete, enjoying working as a tour guide, adventure tour guide. So I explore the Marine National Park that we have here in the Pacific, tip to tip, doing sea kayak, snorkeling, fishing, exploring that coral reef, and also that volcanic reef, and that amazing islands that uninhabit, no one lives in that islands. So that was my new job. And next day, I was doing a different tour. So I could be climbing the Volcan Baru. That's the tallest point that we have in Panama, where you can see in a clear day the Pacific and the Caribbean Ocean. And then the other days, I was exploring rivers, I was doing rafting, I was visiting the Nove Bugle communities, tasting their cacao, tasting their organic coffee, tasting all these new flavors that I was not used to try. But then, by the things that was surrounding me and what I was seeing around me, the agriculture, the amazing coffee, all the crops, the greenhouses. So then I decided I needed to do something one more time, new for me. So I had to learn to be a farmer. So to be a farmer, I had to move out from the hostel where I was living in a sleeping bag. So then I moved out, and I needed to have a little house. So I find a little apartment, and then I start having chickens, lettuce, hydroponic strawberries, fish. So then I was happy. Then the space got a bit smaller, so I wanted to grow a bit more. But then there was something missing on all this, and it was the family. So I wanted to have my own family. So I wanted to start my own life. I don't know with who, because I still was not married, so I don't know who will be my wife. I don't know from where. Something that I was convinced is that my wife, it would be a foreigner. I don't know from where. Being in Boquete, it was a quiet destination to see travelers. But how fate had something prepared, it put in my path Maria Gabriela. Yes, it sounds pretty Latin. But she's 100% Swedish. So then we decided that we wanted to live in Boquete. We don't want to leave Boquete. The two of us love it. And then we wanted to have a family. We wanted to have kids, that they could be the most closest to nature, that they could develop their respect for the environment. So we started looking. We wanted to have a bigger place. We wanted to start the family. We wanted to have the kids. We was looking through Boquete, different places. And then we go show this amazing place in the cloud forest at 1,800 meters above sea level, an abandoned farm with more than 5 waterfalls, a really old coffee, that later we discovered that we had this amazing geisha variety that on these days is breaking records on prices. 1 kilo of that coffee from Boquete, more than $30,000 the kilo. And we had it here on the farm. That was a gem to discover and to polish. So we start giving shape to the farm. We start reforestation projects. So we start working a lot with the native trees of the cloud forest. Then we open the doors of the farm. So we start receiving students. We start receiving investigators so they could learn more about our flora and fauna that we had it here in Panama. And then over the years, we realized that we had something really nice in our hands, what I used to call my home. But then we feel that it was not fair that we don't share this with other people and with visitors. So then we decided to create Hacienda Mamecillo. Mamecillo, just so you have a little idea, is the name of one of our native trees that we have here in the cloud forest. And it was the first tree that we started developing in our nursery project. So over the years, we have a bit more than 12 years developing these nurseries, and we have donated more than 10,000 trees for reforestation. We don't have snow, we need forests. So that was the first project that we did in Hacienda Mamecillo. Then we have on these days 2 important projects that are still running in Hacienda Mamecillo. One is to preserve the monkeys of Panama, and we work with biologists. The other one is to monitor the wild cats of Panama. So we also have it. We have 16 trap cameras in Hacienda Mamecillo, and we share this with everybody. The ones that wanted to know, it's all open for them. So then, over the years, we start receiving visitors from all over to the farm, and then we start sharing our knowledge that we have been acquiring along the years. So we start taking these groups and these families to the forest and explain them the importance of the trees, the flowers, the seeds, the mammals that we had there. What was the important they had it? We wanted that the visitors, they could leave Panama with a nice memory, but more than that, we wanted that people leave Panama with something new that they have learned, a new knowledge. So we have been sharing all this. And flavors. I remember when I was little, in the kitchen of my grandmother, with my mom cooking these Panamanian flavors, I want people that they could taste it too. So we start doing something that on these days is called a farm to table or 0 kilometer. So we start sharing the food that we had it on the farm in a pretty unconventional way. So it was like a buffet thing. Then later we discovered that we could improve it. We could do it better. So then we start serving degustation menus. And then one day, we got this surprise message on Instagram, someone asking us if we wanted to participate in this new program from National Geographic. Of course, we would say yes. So I said yes. My wife too. We agreed. We said yes, let's do it. And then we filmed for 17 days a program that is called Restaurants at the End of the World. And here it was, Hacienda Mamecillo in Panama, being the premiere. So after that day, things has been growing pretty good until COVID. So COVID's still there on the picture. So we got COVID in Panama, 2022. The borders were closed. No one was traveling. So my business, finished. I don't have any work. So it came back again, that phrase of my grandfather, and I had to do something new. So we start selling our coffee. We start selling our products that we have on the farm. I start doing landscaping. I start doing reforestation projects. I start doing educational talks in schools. And actually, I like it. So then, everything bad always have a good size. So after COVID, everything started running again. We start receiving foreigners. We start receiving Panamanians that they wanted to explore. They wanted to be in the outdoors. They wanted to breathe that fresh air. So then everything started getting shape again. All the troubles, all these struggles that I passed through life, they start taking a meaning. They start taking a direction. So then, even on these days, when I walk in town, some people will refer as Chef Rolando, that I don't study for to be a chef, or Professor Rolando, when I see the kids that I attend in these talks. But we wanted to continue developing Hacienda Mamecillo, and we wanted to continue making it a unique thing for Panama. So we start developing something that we call bonsai veggies. You could see it on the video. It's this miniature veggie that we have developed, and it's incredible because we can decorate our plates on the farm, not just with a flower that will have a good flavor. Sometimes they don't even have a good flavor. But we could decorate it with these amazing miniature veggies. So that's a unique thing that we're developing at the farm. And we have been growing it little by little until the days that now we wanted to become a boutique eco-lodge. So little by little, we have been working and giving shape to this 3-hectare farm. So here, I would like to share a phrase that always has motivated me and to discover and to explore and develop new things. So I wish you guys like it. I dream by day and I rest by night. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed it. I will see you guys.